Welcome to a discussion on variables. Today we are going to cover three things in detail. So let's start with the first one. When we talk about variables, the first thing we need to ask ourselves is what are variables and why do we need them? So to understand variables, let's take an example of a simple program which will do a calculation like 5 plus 3 which the user is giving us and give us the answer as 8. Or a simple program that takes the user's name. So over here I put my name as Hargun. When we look at these problems, we realize one thing. I need to store this 5 plus 3, this answer 8 somewhere. I need to store this name Hargun somewhere. So when we are looking at this problem, then we realize we need something more in our programs. And what is that something more? We need memory or a place to store them. So that's where the picture of a variable comes into action. A variable is a memory location over where which will keep changing during the execution of a program and which will hold some data. So let's assume, without understanding the concept of variable, that we have something which will store data and we call it x, which we do in linear algebra. So x will hold the value of 5 plus 3. If the user runs the program next time, then x will hold the value of 7 plus 13. Similarly, x can hold the value of the name. So this is the concept of variables. So variables are just memory location which keep changing when a program runs. So as the calculation will keep changing, when we need to change the value of x, we can simply discard this value and change the value over here. So when the next thing is a simple, we'll take a simple example of a simple data type which is called as integer. Integer is the most basic type of variable that's there in Java language. So before beginning with it, let's take a simple example of a memory. For a memory, let's assume our memory to be like a locker room. So to understand it better, let's take this example that our memory is a locker room. So when we need to store our, when we go to a locker room, our first thing is we need to, we go and get a locker and we get the credentials from the registration desk. That similar thing when we do in our computer program, that's called as an initialization. So what does an initialization look like? This is an initialization step. In our initialization step, we give something which we call as int. What is int? Int is over here a simple short form for integer. You can say int stands for the data type. Next we give the name x. This name x can be anything. You can call x as placeholder. You can call x as Hargun. Anything. This is the name we give. What does x represents over here? X represents our locker name. This step in a computer program is called as initialization. The next thing, after we have a location, the next thing we want, if like I have a locker, what will I want to do is to keep my clothes in it, to keep my stuff in it. And that step is using it. So that step over here is a declaration. We declare the value to x. How this is the second step, x equal to 30. So when we say x equal to 30, the memory location x over here will now house the value of 30. That's it, simply. We can also combine these two in Java and write it like this, int x equal to 30. So this was a small discussion on what are variables, what is a variable data type called as integer, and what exactly will we store in and how exactly will we store, initialize an integer, declare it and use it in our programs. Thank you.